everyone, this is Ivan Maza from the Grbc Robotics Lab of the University of Seville in Spain. We participate in the iMove 3D initiative through ICEA, which is linked to the University of Seville. In this webinar, we will address drone logistics during the COVID pandemic. Here we have the outline of this presentation. In the introduction, I will briefly summarize the research contributions of my lab in this area. Then I will present a summary of the different applications for drones in logistics in last years, and then I will focus on several drone delivery operations carried out during the COVID pandemic. Finally, I will conclude with some key aspects to be considered in this sector. I would like to start with our research contributions from the Grbc Robotics Lab in this area. We were the coordinators of an European project called AWARE from 2006 till 2009, where we performed the first worldwide experimental demonstration of load transportation with 3 autonomous helicopters. Here we can see some pictures and a video from the final project demonstration in 2009 that was published later in the Journal of Field Robotics in 2011. You can see in the video how the drones transported a camera to the top of a metallic structure, and here on the left you have the detail of the mechanism on board each drone to measure the force generated by the load during the flight in order to compensate it properly, and also the release mechanism for the rope once the delivery location was reached. Later, in 2017, we participated in the ARCO project with an use case focus on light item logistics in a factory of the aeronautics sector. The assembly of aerostructure parts requires many different materials and small and light components below 500 grams, rivets, sealing materials, glues, etc. Our system was extensively validated in an Airbus Defence and Space factory in the south of Spain, and we received the Best Drone Award, the Best Drone-Based Solution Award in 2017 of the European Parliament. Let's move to the next point of the presentation. Here we have a summary of recent logistics applications of drones, which was published online in March this year in a scientific journal paper. In this table, the logistics applications are divided, as you can see, into 4 broadly areas: retailing and e-commerce, postal services and mail delivery, food and beverage delivery, and finally healthcare and emergency services. It is a nice summary of relevant initiatives. We can see, for instance, Amazon as one of the e-commerce retailers that introduced the use of drones for direct deliveries in 2013. This initiative by Amazon had huge media coverage and introduced the possibility to apply drone technology in logistics for the public in general. We can see in the table also the interest of very important logistics companies such as UPS and DHL, and in the food industry there is a favorable size-to-weight ratio of food items, and the short travel times of UAVs is relevant for fresh food meal delivery. And in healthcare and emergency services, given the small size, limited weight, high value and high urgency of medical supplies, such as blood samples and medicine, drones is a promising, efficient mode of transportation for these items. Here we have a success story in urban air logistics for a joint venture between Sinotrans and DHL with an autonomous air vehicle of the Chinese company EHang. It is a fully automated and smart aerial delivery solution to tackle the last mile delivery challenges in urban areas of China. Here you can see a video showing the operation. The EHang Falcon drones, which can carry up to 5 kilograms, take off and land in the top of intelligent cabinets that were specifically developed for the fully autonomous loading and offloading of the shipment. They have delivered over 50,000 parcels in 2020 along a customized flight route of around 5 kilometers in Dongguan in China. The drones are controlled via EHang's command and control center and closely monitors the entire drone flight path to ensure the safety and reliability of every flight. Now we will address drone delivery during the COVID pandemic. Drone deliveries have started to gain more and more attention during this pandemic. Drones brought COVID testing samples to laboratories, which helped the quick diagnosis and quarantining of infected citizens. More importantly, drones were used to safely transport medical supplies into hospitals where COVID patients are being treated. During China's COVID outbreak, drone operators and the Chinese government accelerated their national pilot programs. In the United States, to facilitate a wider implementation of autonomous drone delivery, the Federal Aviation Administration, the FAA, granted drone right waivers to help fight the COVID pandemic. In addition, 10 UAS received airworthiness criteria for certification from the FAA in the next step towards integrating small UAS into the United States airspace. Here we have the list of companies, and this is a crucial step to enabling more complex drone operations, including package delivery. Here we have several nice examples. Zipline, a California-based drone delivery startup, delivers critical medical supplies such as masks, test samples, and blood products in Ghana and Rwanda. Zipline is acting as a centralized distribution network for COVID supplies, also in Ghana and Rwanda, things like personal protective equipment. And in the United States, Zipline has been given FAA approval for flights over 2 routes in North Carolina beyond visual line of sight. Also during the COVID pandemic, Wingcopter partnered with Tails Skyports and the NHS to provide beyond visual line of sight BVLOS delivery of medical test samples and other supplies to a hospital on remote Scottish communities. Also, Volancy, which is a San Francisco-based startup, partnered with pharmaceutical giant Merck in October 2020 to fly medicines and also vaccines from a Merck manufacturing facility in North Carolina to a nearby health clinic with unmanned autonomous drones. And on the right, UPS has launched healthcare-related trials during the pandemic to deliver prescription medication from a nearby CVS in Florida with a Matternet M2 drone, and also to offer fast shipping of time-sensitive medical supplies in North Carolina. And here we have another success story. Wing is a subsidiary of Alphabet, but quite independent. However, they use many tools from Google which is a sister company in Alphabet. Their main business is to deliver packages by drones, and Wing has delivered food and supplies during the pandemic, allowing people to stay safely at home. They have activities now in 3 continents. They have performed safely more than 25,000 commercial delivery flights, but they claim that in a year this number can be multiplied by 5 or 10 since the business is working pretty well. In Finland and Australia, they have used the SORA methodology, and in the United States, they were the first company to receive one certified air carrier certificate from the FAA for commercial drone operation out of the line of sight of the pilot. And Wing now is in the process to have their aircraft certified by FAA. Well, how does it work? A customer is ordering through a mobile app that allows to select the product in a couple of clicks, and then the goods are packed in a special container, and when it is ready, the aircraft is sent to pick up the package. In parallel, a safe route is planned autonomously from the nest place of the drone to the pickup location and to the delivery place. It takes account in weather conditions, airspace restrictions, obstacles, aircraft performance, operational requirements, and other Wing aircrafts in the area. Automated checks are performed before takeoff, and if something fails, the mission is aborted for that aircraft and another one is selected. Then the aircraft takes off from the nest, goes to the pickup location, and hovers at 7 meters above ground or obstacles, and releases a tether with a hook to take the package. The aircraft flies at 10 and at 30-40 meters above ground or obstacles and has a range around 10 kilometers. Finally, the package is automatically released, hovering again at 7 meters above ground, and the Wing aircraft goes back to the nest for recharging batteries. Finally, we will conclude this presentation with some key considerations. According to the different examples shown before, drone delivery is a safer, faster, and cleaner alternative to transport by roads to connect our cities and reduce traffic emissions and road accidents. It is unlocking new economic opportunities, and we have an example in the plots below. It shows some information from a market study published this year in January. We can see on the left an estimation of the cost of a 10-mile drone delivery, and we can see that a key factor to decrease cost is to have autonomous drones. On the right, we have an estimation of 40% retail share for e-commerce drone delivery by 2030, and also an estimation of more than $100 billion for the global parcel drone delivery revenue by 2030. Here we have a list with relevant challenges and key aspects to be taken into account. Safety is crucial, so in the aircraft we need redundancy and also an aircraft designed to limit damages to people and properties in case of an accident. The idea would be to have soft materials, parachute mechanisms to limit the speed in the impact. Privacy is also very important, so we need encrypted communication, and communication should be redundant. This is a key aspect for situational awareness for the drone under operation and also for other drones and or piloted aircraft in the area. Regulatory barriers are also important, so we have to know very well the regulatory framework in the country where we want to operate. And then we have to work with the authorities to properly understand this framework, to get the permissions and certifications. In general, some kind of risk assessment methodology should be applied. And public acceptance of this technology should be taken into account. This year, the European Aviation Safety Agency published a study on the societal acceptance of urban air mobility in Europe, and the public opinion was very positive in general, above 80%. However, I would recommend to consider the public acceptance in the particular area or city where you plan the operations. Finally, our drone is not alone in the skies. There are more drones from other companies and recreational use, and also manned aviation. So supporting diverse operations requires a scalable and accessible approach to data sharing, which goes beyond traditional ATM. Then our drones should be integrated in the UTM, which is the Unmanned Aerial Systems Traffic Management. And here the European Commission calls it U-Space, and we have been involved in several research projects about this topic. Different services are being defined to support UTM, and there are many opportunities for researchers and companies that can develop U-Space service providers and or specific services for this digital ecosystem, such as tactical deconfliction, electronic identification, strategic deconfliction, geo-awareness, emergency management, and many others. So, to conclude, the final message is optimistic. There are many opportunities for research and development in this sector, from the drone structure design to be safe in case of impact, to the software development of autonomous functionalities on board and services for the UTM digital ecosystem. That's all, and thank you very much for your attention.